What is up, podheads? Back with another episode of the Podio Slay podcast. My name is Tony, joined, as always, by Anthony.
What is happening?
What's up? Yeah, I know how you're doing, because we've been talking for an hour and a half, maybe longer, close to 2 hours, yeah.
But do the people know? Because this is all about the people.
Hey, people, I'm doing great. Anthony?
Dude, rocking it. Love it.
Having a blast, as always, talking music, nerdery, living all these different things, and living our dream, really, of talking to bands that we've known about and liked for the better part of 3 decades. So we're back doing it again this week.
It's funny. As you were just talking, I was like, this is what you do when you're not musically inclined, when you have no musical skill set, when you're 40 and you still love talking about music, listening to music, going to shows. I mean, we did all that in the last week.
We did.
Actually, we did all that in the last
5 days.
Weeks.
Yeah, we did. We went to a show Friday night. We saw Sparks, who were on a couple episodes back. Saw Sparks Rescue in Portland, Maine. And then tonight we get to talk to the guys from A Static Lullaby. We're back.
And as I say in the intro, 80% of the band, 4 members. That is a record, right?
Easily. I mean, we've had 6 people on the podcast. We've been on a podcast with 6 people. I think we've had an episode where we had 6 people. Yeah, we did, with the itch. And it's not easy. And we weren't ready for all 4 of them, but they were sitting in front of us like, all right, cool. Let's we got questions. Let's roll. Let's have fun.
So band member wise, we've had 2. Have we ever had 3?
Yes. Out of service.
Oh, that's right. Shout out those guys.
Yeah. Yep.
Love those records. Yeah, we had 3 members. We had 4 members.
That's a record. We've never done that before. That was awesome.
And I'll say this, a little behind the scenes, like pulling up the curtain. It's different. It is different. You know, because you don't know who's going to answer.
Well, you don't want to, one person will answer. You don't want to step on the next person answering the same question because they might have a different view too. So.
But you know what? Now that we've done it, I don't want it any other way. So like future bands that come on this pod, bring everyone. Bring your producer. Bring
them all. Photographer, producer, content guy, content girl, all of it. Bring it all. We want to talk to everybody. We love all the little aspects, all the little nooks and crannies of the nerdery. We want all of it.
But A Static Lullaby, when this was, the prospect of this interview became a thing, we were like, all in. It's a band that we loved back in the day. It's a band that you kind of never knew was going to put out new music or tour again or anything. And then they're back, and they're really back, right? As of you listening to this, they just released a live version of And Don't Forget to Breathe on Smart Punk Records. It's on streaming. It's great.
The YouTube too video, right?
YouTube video, like almost like a mini doc. Like it's tastefully done, which is kind of a delicate dance, but they nailed it. They recently played shows this weekend, right? And they were great. I mean, when we talked to them, they hadn't happened.
We think,
but,
we recorded this before. We joked that who knows? Maybe they didn't, but we're positive that they were good. And if you were there, we're jealous.
But yeah, it's a band that we kind of grew up with. Like they're maybe 2 or 3 years older than us. So a lot of bands like from this era, either they come back for the wrong reasons or they don't come back at all. So the fact that they're kind of in this sweet spot, it's a real treat. And I'm excited. You'll hear it in the next hour. There is new music coming. There's likely shows, right?
Yep. And they came back for the right reason. They're having fun doing it. And you could tell they were having fun. This conversation shows it, 100%. Like they're into it. They're having fun. They're having a good time. They've got the podcast too. So follow them, go listen to the podcast, listen to the live record. There's all kinds of new doings in the Static Lullaby world, and we're here for all of it.
Underrated band name. Actually, a few weeks ago,
Total Band Vantage.
We
recorded it. It's just not out yet.
All right, little behind the scenes. A few weeks from now, there's going to be a new episode coming out that's called Band Vantage Part 2. And it's about band names that elevate the band, like band name cheat codes. I think for what A Static Lullaby does, it is a band vantage. It is a cheat code.
Totally. Yep. Absolutely. It is perfect. It's a perfect name. It's better than one of the ones that they gave us in the episode that they didn't go with, and they did the right thing and picked the right one. So fits them perfect.
So with that, we're going to get into it. Here is A Static Lullaby. Let's go. All right. We are here with A Static Lullaby. 4/5, 80% of A Static Lullaby. Guys, how are you?
Doing great.
Yeah, we're doing wonderful.
This is a first for us to have all 4/5 of a band sitting in front of us. This is amazing.
We wrote answers out to possible questions that we all say in unison. So.
There you go.
I love that. I love that.
So I was jogging my memory back 20 plus years ago because we're all old as hell. My sister's AIM screen name was Lip Gloss and Letdown. Instead of the O, she had a 0 and down. So,
oh yeah, that's sick. I love that. Any
there were probably a few people back in that era that had A Static Lullaby, screen names or away messages or all that shit, right?
Yeah, there was some shooting star XX00s or something. Yeah.
And if you're too young to know what an AIM screen name is, look it up.
That's true. Yeah. What was mine, dude?
Mine was X Take This Blade X.
Oh, whoa!
Yeah.
I think mine was A Static Management.
Yeah.
I can't reveal mine because I've never revealed my first name. I go by my middle name. So
okay.
If I reveal it, it might give it away. So I'm gonna keep it secret. I'll tell you guys offline.
All right.
You have it bookended by X's though.
Mine was This Is a Takeover, which was Every Time I Die tribute. Yep. But yeah, we that's the era that we got into, you guys. And actually, I think I've only seen you guys once, which was the Taste of Chaos 2005 tour in Portland, Maine. Do you guys remember hitting Portland?
I do actually remember Portland a little bit. I'm trying to think of I know something memorable happened that day. I just can't think of what it is.
Portland, what was it at an arena or just a huge venue?
Probably, arena. 8,000 cat venue, right?
Yeah, the Civic Center back then.
Okay,
I think that's when we tried to save that stripper from her life of.
No.
Oh, I gotta hear this. What's this all about?
You tried to save it.
We went to a strip club because our tour manager wanted to go to a strip club, and it was like the day before, I believe. Yeah, it was. We got them tickets to the show, and we met this really nice stripper, and she was super sweet. She's like, "Yeah, I just started doing this," and she came back to our RV to hang out with us, and we were just we all got drunk, and we were just like, "You don't have to do this. You can do it.
Come on tour with us."
Ridiculous.
Oh, that is funny.
There's only one strip club in Maine, I think. So you found it, which is great.
It was the strip club.
We lived near it, Anthony, for a hot minute back in 2010. We weren't that far away.
I should have gone. I would have saw A Static Lullaby there.
I think I've been in that place 3 times in my life.
Nice.
So where are you guys out of?
Portland, Maine.
We claim Portland, Maine. We're from South Portland, the town just south. But yeah, we claim Portland, Maine because everybody knows at least that city in our state. So.
Oh yeah,
gotcha.
Cool.
You guys in SeaTac?
No,
they're
Maine. Other Maine.
Oh, I'm the dude.
The other Maine.
The other Portland. The other Maine.
The real Portland, the good Portland, the first Portland, all those things. Yes.
Yeah,
that's us.
Yeah.
So guys, no new music since 2011. It was just that one song, and then kind of sporadic shows since, we'll call it 2009. There's renewed energy. Obviously, we follow you guys on social media. There's clips of you guys talking. There's shows. There's the live album. How does this go down? Was there a phone call? It's hey, let's get the band back together, or were you guys chatting this whole time and no one knew about it, or?
There was Glassjaw, I think. Glassjaw came through the observatory and we all hung out.
Well, we showed up and I walked in and I see Chris, who's our drummer, and him and I had been working on music off and on, just kind of trying to throw something together every couple times a year, never really getting anything done. And then I walk in, I see him. I'm like, oh, cool. I'm not by myself. I just went alone because I was like, oh, last minute, going to go see Glassjaw. And then I see John Martinez walk in, who is our old guitar player. And I was like, oh, shit, John's here. And then Joe walks in, and this is all within 5 minutes. And we haven't really seen each other or talked to each other in years at this point. Really. I mean, I think I've texted with Joe and Chris I talked to. I just hadn't seen him much. And yeah, everyone walked in and I was like, what the hell's going on? So that kind of started the conversations. We got the vibes were flowing, we were talking, and then it just naturally progressed into let's get the band back together.
Yeah, I think the first show back was at California is for Lovers Fest with Hawthorne and Sales and all that, and that was 2024 August. Dan and I were talking before that though, that we were putting the thing back together and we were gonna get going and had a new desire to write music and actually, treat it a little bit different than we had in the past, and then just getting together and playing a really rad show and having a good time for one night. We were gonna really start moving forward with it, so we did, and it's been fun as fuck. So I'm excited.
And what better way to stave off old age than just reignite that childhood passion?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think that's it. Yeah.
No, I right there with you. Like, why not? Especially if everybody feels like it's the right move, and if you're having fun doing it, like, do it.
Yeah.
I mean, if for me, it's like, hey, we get to do cool shit, and I still get to go home and be a dad and do all the things that I do in my day-to-day life, and have my big boy job and all that. But I could push pause and really have some great experiences, and now the kids get to come out and see that, and the wives come along, and people get to experience some of this stuff that we experience. I mean, 25 years ago, basically, right? Where we have experience that there's lore, right? And all this other stuff that we kind of sprinkle the idea of, oh, we did some really, really cool shit, or we did this and we did this, and they can only see it from a frame of us explaining it, as opposed to now they get to kind of experience for themselves, which is really cool.
Well, a lot of stars got to align for that. Like, you still got to want to do it. You guys got to realistically, geographically, still live in the same region.
Yes.
So, like, a lot of bands have just moved on. Like, they are of your era. It's just not a thing there. They don't want to make that sacrifice or whatever it is. So the fact that you guys are all at that show is actually pretty wild.
It really was. The stars did align in that sense. And I think, if we didn't want to do it, we wouldn't fucking do it. Right. But we love the music we make. And, Dan and I have been friends since we were 14 years old. And, a lot of what really makes us tick, to be honest, is, our relationship in this band and the music that we make together. And, I get so much from that. It's so rewarding, but it's great to have guys. I was telling somebody yesterday that this iteration of the band feels really good. We got Nick and we got Kyler and we got Chris, and Chris has been in and out of Static Lullaby a few different times, either playing guitar, playing drums, and been involved with us. But to actually have a band where I can look left and look right and feel supported and have backbone in all these areas, as opposed to me and Dan just sitting in a room trying to work out melodies or something like that. It actually feels real and pretty damn tangible. And we've been able to do some cool shit, like release some vinyls, and we're doing this live record, playing those shows and playing in Don't Forget to Breathe. And now we have new music and it's recorded, and we're excited to share that with the world.
Yeah, and I mean, it's one thing to all just kind of show up at a show and have that kind of fate happen, and everybody's there, and it's like, oh, what are we thinking? Do we want to do this? And then to get it back into it and have that work and click again, like, sometimes it just doesn't, right? And I'm sure there's many bands over the course of the last however many years of music, 70 years of music, they're like, let's try it, and then it doesn't click, or you're not feeling it. But to have it work too, like, there's so many stars that, pun intended, stars that have to align, right? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, we're fortunate in that area. I think, like you said, everybody is, nobody's in Portland, Maine, right? We're all in Chino Hills. So
yeah,
that's right. It works out.
If you guys were in Portland, Maine, you would have run into each other every other week.
Yeah, it's easy to do.
You know what? This would happen a lot sooner.
It would have happened a lot sooner. Yeah.
There's only 7 of us up here.
There's
Yeah.
only 7. There's 6 of us.
And 3 of us do a podcast. It's weird.
That's great.
So what were the next steps after that show? Was there a group chat? Like, I feel like that's the natural next step.
Yeah,
was there a group chat?
That was a natural progression. Yeah, there was a group chat. And then we started, like, kind of just kicking around song ideas. I know, like, John and Chris brought some songs to the table that were, like, they've had, like, in their archives for a while, like, seeing what to do with. So we were just taking a look at riffs and, like, talking about, doing a possible cover or something just to, like, spark it up. And then I was running the Instagram at the time. It was like, we'd started in 2016. We didn't really do much with it. There wasn't a lot of tracking. I think we had like 1,400 followers, if that. But the Hawthorne Hike Camp reached out to us about the Is for Lovers Fest because they saw that we were active again because we were posting some stuff. And I spoke to them, and just kind of, we came up with this plan on how they're going to do it. And I don't want to break kayfabe, but like they basically like called us out via Instagram story, and we responded with like a yes, we'll do it. And it was pretty cool. But that was like the spark we needed to like get this thing like going. So playing that show was really cool. A lot of people there, and yeah, that's kind of like the spark that really like set it off.
What really solidified it from that point, Dan said, the spark started it, and then we started getting in a room and having to rehearse, and then being together and throwing song ideas around. And then after we did that, we did a headliner, and the reception from that was just freaking amazing. I mean, one of 1,500 people at observatory, and everybody singing the songs, and we're like, oh, this is fucking rad. We're gonna continue to do this. This is fun.
Yeah, I think I saw a video from that. That was with Death by Stereo. Were they on that gig?
That was the second one. So the first one was Juliana Theory.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
So like, say from like 2009, 2011 to now, were you guys keeping tabs on like, streaming numbers and like basically keeping a pulse if anyone still gave a shit? Like, were you keeping in touch with like the A Static Lullaby fan base, or?
No.
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 I think that's healthy.
It's awesome.
Well, the coolest part about it is that I think because we push pause on it, right? Like now when we're writing music, it feels like just a real like extension of where we left off, right? As opposed to we had done a bunch of stuff in the meantime, and we were really diving into the numbers and stressing about that shit, and then none of that really happened. So it's been pretty lax going forward. I still hate it. I don't like to do it. And more as we get involved and we become more active, I'm forced to get thrown in that realm where I'm texting Kyler or Nick late at night, like, bro, I need you to schedule this fucking post at 4:00 a.m. And
that game sucks.
And I think it's because we talked about corporal punishment, and I'm like, dude, I don't think the algorithm's hitting. And,
I watched that.
So I'm like, but I wish I didn't have to do that. And Dan just always laughs at me because I fucking stress, but it's good.
I don't care.
That's the healthy way to be, because honestly, right before you guys popped in, Anthony and I were talking about the algorithm and what we're gonna post tomorrow, what we posted today. It's like, man, I just want to talk to people about music. So this is the fun part. We appreciate this part the most.
Well, I think you said it, and we have our podcast, and 90% of that was because I just hate the idea of doing the exercise, right? Like, I don't want to hold up the phone and say, yo, I'm going to be out here and we're doing this, and guys, it'd be great. It's not that I'm not excited to see people, but just I'm not that fucking person.
It's just
like,
performative,
right? Like it's so extra. We might as well. We want to talk and share ourselves with people. It might be on a real level, and these podcasts allow you to do that, which is the coolest part.
Yeah, well, and the thing that kills me, and it's we've been going for 6.5 years almost, and we've probably had, I don't know what, 200 plus different people on, Anthony.
Mm-hmm.
And the majority of people that we talk to, whether it be bands, people around music, people at concerts, whatever, nobody wants to do any of that shit. They just want to either make music and get out in front of people and put music out for people to hear, or to hear people talk about the music. That's what they want. They don't want the algorithm bullshit. So like, at some point we got to take that back and just put the cool shit out there, and don't worry about the, hey, we're making a joke at a Dunkin' Donuts. Like, no one gives a shit about that.
Well, it's not why people got into this. Like, when you guys got into this, that didn't exist. That was not part of the agreement, right? That wasn't part of the contract.
Want to know the comparative? Bro, I gotta go to fucking Staples and print out 500 flyers, and Dan's gonna put me up in front of Glass House, and I'm gonna hand these out, and I don't want to do it because I'm gonna have to say hi to people,
But the thing is, the sell-through and click-through rates were so much higher back then, because it was it was hand to hand, it was person to person. Now it's like no one gives a shit.
And I miss that. I do miss that, but I think doing this live album I guess, to boomerang that back around is like, I'm able to have those experiences. I'm able to put myself back in 2003. I'm able to put myself back in 2002 and kind of look at these songs and where I was then and where the band was then and what we were doing to write them and what they mean to us today too. So that's really, really cool.
So obviously you recorded the live album and you've listened to it, I'm sure, a bunch since then. Like, do you thank younger you? Like, fuck yeah, we were fucking good. What do you guys think of the record?
I do think younger me. I'm like, how did little me come up with this little part?
Me was
like,
cool.
Yeah, I was like, dude, that's rad. No, I mean, those songs are like burned in my brain. So like, I haven't listened to the whole live record all the way through because I know it, just like back to front. But it is really cool. And we were like sitting down and like listening, like, how do we want this mixed? I was kind of sitting there and I was like, all these parts sound so cool. Like, how do we do this when we were like 19 years old? It's so weird. But yeah, it was a lot of fun though. I mean, it was just the way it was set up is, it was very random. Joe was like setting up all this stuff back to back and he's like hiring a film crew. And I was like, wait, what's going on? I had no idea what was going on.
Oh, he didn't tell you.
It was like, I was getting into the podcast a lot and like, I love the energy and like how we don't have a script and we just kind of talk shit. It's a lot of fun. And we were doing this like mixed shootout because we had recently tracked a newer song that we're going to release sometime this year, hopefully sometime this year. That's the plan. But we were going there to do this like mixed shootout. We sent the song to a bunch of producers that either we worked with before or are good, big names or were big names back in the day. And we kind of just compared them. And I was like really excited to shoot that video. But then also we had this other video to shoot. And I was like, what are we doing? Oh yeah, we're doing the live album. Okay. Live album. So show up and yeah, we ran through the songs twice and that's the end result. Like it was cool. It was really fast and good and everyone crushed it. And that's the thing about this lineup too. Like everyone like contributes a lot and it's great. Like we've never really had where like everybody's firing on all cylinders all the time, contributing to like marketing, contributing to the music, like wanting to play their best all the time. It's great.
I think what really sparked that off was I got really pissed off because I had been working so hard to try and get the rights for And Don't Forget to Breathe. And I got a hold of Sony Legacy and I want to release this vinyl. That's what I want to do. I want to release the vinyl. I want the songs. And somehow, there was already people in the works getting the rights to the album. And I thought I almost had my claws on it. And, we winded up, I was happy with the partnership that we did with Parting Gift and everything. And we're able to release And Don't Forget to Breathe. But I kind of got pissed off that people were able to just go out there and mention our name and a record that had been out there and just take the rights and get a licensing to go release a record that
crazy.
Basically it was hey, I'm going to email and let you know that I'm doing this and this is going to happen whether you like it or not. Right. So you can either go buy your own record off of me or you can just watch them sell. And I got pissed off. So I was like, well, talking to Dan, I'm like, maybe we could re-record this thing and maybe he's all, you're not touching that fucking album, dude. He's all, we're not touching the album.
That's a dangerous thing to do. Yeah.
Yeah. And I wasn't interested in doing it anyways. That album is it and it lives in time the way that it was. And I don't want to take that away from anybody. But I also do get excited. And like Dan says, I'm pretty good at putting the cart before the horse there. And so I said, well, I think I figured out a workaround here. We're doing these live shows, so we might as well record this thing so I don't have to book shows randomly, every 6 months and play it live. And we can bring this into people's living rooms, and share that with them and reignite the fan base that way. So I think it worked out pretty well.
It's a good way to reconnect with fans too, right? You're gonna, if I'm a fan and we're fans and you had come to our hometown and you're like, hey, we're recording this for a live album, I have to own that. Like I have to have it. I was there. Like I've allegedly dabbled in the internet to try to find shows I've been at, the master recordings or whatever. I've got a couple. I won't name names just because I don't want to get in trouble. But it's a thing as a music nerd, as a geek, as somebody that goes to shows, has been to hundreds of shows. if I can get my hands on that, I'm absolutely doing it. And if I can help the band in the process, sign me up.
Yeah, I love that. That's awesome. I think what I did realize after releasing this, just the single 10 days ago or whatever it was, the reception that we've gotten from our fans, right? And we always talk about, well, why do you do this? Well, because people care about it, and I know it meant something to somebody at this point in their life, and I thought that you could just say hi on Instagram and everybody remembers, and that really wasn't it. There's so many people just chiming in saying, oh my God, you just took me back in a time machine, and this is so nostalgic, and it's 2003 again, and times were better then, and this, that, and the other. And it's really cool to see that happening, and I'm really, really, really happy that we were able to do it.
I love the record. We were seniors in high school when it dropped, and to me, that is the A Static Lullaby record. And I was telling Tony, and I'll see if you guys agree. I think it has 3 first ballot 2000s songs, first ballot Hall of Fame songs on it, and Withered, Lip Gloss, and Shooting Star.
I like it.
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I don't disagree at all. Yeah, I would put, the more that I hear it and play it, I think Song for a Broken Heart's a contender. So
love banger.
Yeah.
And did I read that Withered was the first song you wrote?
No, it was actually Love to. Oh no, it was Sip of Wine was the first song we wrote. Then Love to Hate. Withered was Withered was like number 6, I would say.
I have a 4-year-old and a 6-year-old, and I've been playing this album all week, and my son was headbanging today, just so you guys know.
I love that.
I love that.
So Neil, if you found this episode, shout out to you. You love ASL.
Yo.
When he's old enough and realizes we spent all of our time doing this, like, oh, is this what you're doing? Oh, cool. That's
what you're doing
cool.
in the basement.
Where's Dad at again?
Yeah, he's downstairs hanging out with Tony. Yeah, sorry.
But yeah, I mean, realistically, the last time I listened to the album in full was probably 5 or 6 years ago, and I in prep for this, I've been listening to it a lot. I remember every fucking word. I remember all of it.
That's so rad.
I can't scream like you, Joe, but I can't sing like Dan, but I can't do any of it. But it's a banging album.
Well, we appreciate it, man. I think where we were at that point in our lives, we really thought we were on the cusp of creating something new, and it's kind of funny that you guys seniors in high school. I think I was 1 year out of high school at that point, but the scene at that time was so rad, and when we were finding music and the way things were kind of changing at that point, and what it turned into, the post-hardcore thing, or the emo, or the whatever you call it, screamo, or whatever it was. I think, like you said, I mean, early 2000s, that album did something. It made its mark, right? It influenced certain people this way or the other. And pretty fucking rad that you could sit back and not listen to it for 6 years and still know every single word, right? So, but it meant something to you, so that means something to me. That's pretty rad.
Well, it hit us at the perfect age, right? I mean,
So true.
And we were front and center for that wave of music too. Like, we love Thursday, we love Thrice, we love The Used, we love you guys, we love, I mean, you name it, Finch. Like, there was so many bands in that time frame that just, they dug their hooks into us, this being one of them, and it's fucking rad. It's pretty cool to get to talk to you guys all these years later, 20 something years later.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, we didn't and we were so oblivious because we were, we were all in like our hometown bands. I think Joe had ventured out the most. He was in a hardcore band called Upper Hand, who got pretty big, and then this other band called Nostalgia. And I was in like some pop punk band, and at that time, like, we just kind of got together and thought about, we wanted to start something together. And Joe was like, I want to mix the screamy with the melodic, and we're like, okay. And like, no one's doing that. We didn't know anyone that was doing that, because we weren't digging deep for our records back then. It was like very like, it was either hardcore or pop punk, and it was like all influenced by the groups that we hung out with. But I was listening to like Jimmy Eat World, and Joe was like, I want to do like Jimmy Eat World meets like Poison the Well. And that's kind of how this started. But like, then we find out that, Thursday dropped their like 2 singles, and we're like, oh shit, they're doing kind of the same thing. And then like Joe found Taking Back Sunday and all this stuff, and we're like, what the hell's going on? Like everyone's doing this shit. What's happening?
Do you guys remember a band called Grade? They were on Victory.
Oh yeah.
So I
Love
think that was like the closest thing to what I thought I wanted the band to sound
that
like,
makes
or
sense.
what Dan and I could accomplish. It wasn't exactly that. It was an iteration of it, but I think that one, we listened to that record a lot.
Yeah,
right? Yeah.
That was like, you were like, listen to this.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, I don't know this, but I'll check it out.
And what was that band? Red Roses for a Blue Lady. You guys remember that band?
I don't know
I don't
that
think
one.
so.
No.
Okay. And so it was like Poison the Well, that, and then Grade. And I was like, it's going this direction. I kind of want to do this, So yeah, that's kind of where we wound up. But
Well, I think for you guys, you had the dual vocals thing going. You had the name, like great name. It's of the time. I mean, let's call it what it is. It's of the time, but great name. You had the aesthetic, the imagery, and you had the tracks, right? You got to have tracks. You had the tracks. Where'd the name come from? Whose idea was that?
That's so we were kicking around some pretty stinkers. We were kicking around some stinkers for a while, but the name, we actually had a buddy. He was in this band Lost North Star, who we befriended like when we became a band. We knew them before a little bit, but their guitar player really liked our band after like coming to a practice, and he was like, we didn't have a guitar player for like a week, and he was like, hey, I want to like fill in, and like I want to play, I want to learn the songs and like learn how you guys play these songs and how you write them and stuff. So he jumped in. He was a cool kid, but he also had his other bands, so he eventually had to leave. But I think one night we were at Buca de Beppo.
Yeah, we were
at Buca de Beppo.
Buca de Beppo.
Meatball Monday.
Yeah, we're at Buca, which is like, this is, I don't know if you guys have that out there, but it's like this like chain Italian place.
Boston, I think. I've been to one. I went to one in Philly years ago. Yeah.
It's like giant family servings of everything. Like you can't order individual stuff.
No, you can't.
But Freddie was there, and he actually like took the sound very literally, and like said like, this is a cool name that I think you guys should use, because we were the ones I'm not going to say them because they're horrible.
Oh, I was going to say, you got to give us one. I mean,
Actually, you have to say them. Actually,
the one was called A Boy's Dream or some shit like that.
I don't want to talk.
Dude, it was so bad, bro. It was so bad.
Well, you didn't pick them, so you picked the right one.
Yeah, but when he said that, when he said that, we were all like, "Oh shit, that is a cool name.
Yeah,
Super cool name."
I know, that's the one. That works.
And it's very like, when I think about it, like I love the way it sounds, like not thinking about it in context, but like in context, it's very on the nose of like what we are, which is kind of silly to me, but I mean, it's our name.
It's our name.
It's yours. And you're now stuck with it for the better part of 30 years. So
Right. I wish we could have gone with A Boy's Dream.
I think you made the right call.
So back then, like, what was the end game? Like, I can't imagine it was release an album on Ferret, go major, play shows at the Observatory 25 years later. Like, what was the end game? And was it 99 you started? 99?
No, we started in 2001.
2001. So in 2001, What was the end game? Just dicking around with friends, or?
I mean, we were just trying to get bigger than our previous bands.
I think, that was it. We were so,
there was like,
there was a lot of ego in the thing. I think, especially from me, I literally I didn't think anybody was better than us. And I was fucking dead set on letting the world know that I wanted it to hear it.
Yeah. And Joe thought this before we had even written a song. So like,
it was,
as soon as we said we were doing it, he's like, we're the fucking best around.
That's it, dude. So
Joe was printing T-shirts before you recorded a song.
But Joe was getting chummy with like the hardcore scene, like 18 Visions, Bleeding. He was going to those shows, and like, there was that. I think that was like our main goal, was like to get in that scene and like hang with those bands and like play shows with those bands and see where it takes us, kind of thing.
We wanted to tour. I think it was Hellfest. Dan and I, we wanted to play Hellfest. There was nothing more than getting a band, being in a band, touring, and playing fucking Hellfest. That's all we wanted to do, and we did that relatively quickly. We did that pretty fast.
Like, I can't believe how like goal oriented we were, because we like Joe and I set our sights on it, and like his passion for it like kind of drove me. I quit college just to like write songs like with no trajectory, no shows lined up. Quit college to focus and like practice every single day, and we practiced every single day, which is a huge thing back then. Like every day we would walk up the street to our drummer's house, practice in his bonus room, and go dick around at night. And then we'd rinse and repeat every single day.
And I wouldn't let anybody smoke weed.
It was very good.
It's business time. No time to be lazy. So,
is that what led to Ferret? Because Ferret at the time was Every Time I Die, Rem Nev, Kill Switch, Misery Signals, maybe a little after. But
led us to Ferret. Every Time I Die.
Yeah.
After we heard Last Night in Town, we're like, I don't give a fuck. This is the sickest band we've ever heard, and we want to be a part of whatever Carl's doing, because Carl really had his finger on the pulse there. I would say Scarlet was sick. All the bands that he was signing were so rad, dude.
And Bronx.
And then he had Fada and
Boys Night Out.
I think he released Kill Switch record, dude. Like, I mean, he was
the first one. He did.
He really had the idea, and he was cool. He was in a band. He was in Nora, and I mean, to pull back the curtain a little bit, before we signed a record contract, we had pretty legit management, and we were getting introduced to names like Ross Robinson and all this other stuff prior to us even going out on tour, being told we were going to be the biggest thing ever off of a 3-song demo, like it was stupid. But we had the same management as The Used and Finch and Glassjaw, and we got the van. We went out on tour, and who was that tour? Not Waving But Drowning.
Yeah, it was This Day Forward, Not Waving But Drowning, Open Hand, and Us. And it was such a badass tour.
It was so bad.
That was our very first tour, and it was insane.
It was insane. And we went out, and we got out to Hellfest. And by the time we got into Hellfest, there was a nice buzz. But Rodney, our manager at the time, had every label coming to meet us, every single one. It was just like, it was like the craziest press schedule, but it was more like, hey, you're interviewing for record labels at every single stop.
We met with everyone. I think we met with like Victory, Trustkill. I don't even know if we met with Trustkill.
I think he had bigger ones there too. I think it was like Roadrunner and
Roadrunner, Revelation. We met with everyone.
So, but it wasn't getting out there and him just setting that up. What had happened was I went out on tour with Finch prior to us going out on tour, and I sold merch for them, but I brought our record with us, our demo, and I think I had 2,500 copies, and that was the best way to go viral, right? To hit the algo, was stop in every city, sell merch, and kids coming to the table. Hey, listen to this one. Hey, listen to this. Hey, listen to this. And that really, by the time that I had gotten back and we were already set up for the next tour, there was already a buzz going around just off the demo. So that was really cool how it all got set up and got to that point.
Yeah, that was like clutch. It spread like wildfire. It's crazy.
What a different time, right? I mean, I miss that time so much. It's a lot of work because it's more physical, right? You got to be in front of people and hand it out to them, and maybe take your demo out while you're touring with another band selling merch. But I'm so romantic for that time frame, because you did have to like go to the show and you did have to hand it to somebody, and I had to be the guy walking in and say, yeah, I'll take that. I'll throw it in my CD player and in my beater when I get back, in the car on the way out of the show. And it's just, it was so much fun finding music that way. Whereas now it's corporatized to the point where it's an algorithm, and it's not as fun. Like there's no person behind it. This is people behind it. This is you're pressing flesh.
That's this part, right? Like you had to get into whatever beater you had, right? And then you had your CD player that had the insert to the tape deal, and that cord needed to work properly for you. So you can make sure that left and right speakers were working, right? And then your buddy had to be in the car too, and you both had to hear it. And then you had to go back to school and tell everybody you just heard the sickest shit in the world, And then, but I guess that's real organic guerrilla marketing type of deal.
That was the era we all grew up in, right?
Yeah, there's just something about being like judged on the music alone, like without this facade and like, social media kind of thing. And I feel like we talked down on social media. I get why it happened. Like obviously the trajectory was gonna go that way no matter what as soon as it became available. But there's something about just being judged on the music. Like just there's no photo. It's just a demo, and like being in like a scene where you like search for like underground bands that aren't on a record label, because that's not everyone. Not everyone was doing that. Was going to shows and like looking for that. But like that scene particularly, and like scenes like that, just a cool thing that's never going to happen again. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to happen much. If
It's
any.
crazy. It's gone.
Yeah.
And the internet took it, but at the same time, there are good things about the internet, and it allows you to get to more people. But I wish it would just allow you to have the things that you like pop into your feed, and then you like that, you might like this too, versus having to pay to play and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I was thinking actually today when I was thinking of my sister having that screen name, where the 2026 equivalent is just Twitter. Like that is the modern away message.
Yeah.
That's just
It really is. It's crazy.
So Joe, question for you.
Yeah.
I'm decent at math. You're early to mid 40s.
Yes.
How is it screaming as an elder statesman these days? Is it harder?
Let me be real vulnerable here. There was times when we first got back together that I called Dan crying, right? Like,
wow.
Hey, it doesn't fucking work, dude. It's not working. Tell me, shut the fuck up. You're gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. Everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna be all right. And it's different. I can't abuse my voice the way that I used to. I have to break it so it works again. There's different things. Like I called the guys the other day. Hey, I'm not gonna be all right if we don't get and I need to rehearse 2 times. If I rehearse 2 times, I'm gonna be all right for these shows and everything like that. But I'm not as versatile as I used to be, but I think I'm more consistent. And I think because I'm more aware of my body and really aware of what's going on with my throat internally, that I find it pretty easy to scream nowadays as opposed to what I would do before, because I used to utilize different parts of my voice and really kind of beat them up in ways that I just can't do anymore. So I figured it out. It's a little more high pitched. I can't do so many lows and this, that, and the other, but I'm really happy with it,
Yeah, the live stuff I've seen on IG, it's like, this is what year is this? Is it 02?
Yeah.
Is it 03? Where are we at?
Yeah, I was very impressed by us. I didn't know it was going to sound like that. It was pretty crazy. I was like, holy shit. We all sound like we're 19 years old.
That is the craziest
You guys
thing.
sounded really.
Yeah, it was pretty incredible. I had no idea it was going to sound like that. And I hear my own voice when I'm singing, and I'm like, there's no way it sounds like that. But worked out.
Still got it, man. Still got it after all these years. It's a great thing. It's a great thing.
I think when we first started early, we weren't as focused on a great delivery and performance vocally and musically. It was more like, how fucking crazy could we go on stage?
Yeah, that would
like what, because the music at that point was, if it's not making us reckless on stage, then we're not doing something right. And then you'd see bands like Dillinger just go, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
But
Yep.
like, I think nowadays, we really want to focus on delivering the best, most consistent and solid performance that we can deliver as human beings. And some of that's taking care of your voice in different ways. And some of that's, sleeping, and some of that's, doing other things that maybe we were able to not do or do before. Right. So
yeah, I don't think I've ever, until this iteration, I don't think I've ever had like a really solid show of vocals, just because I was always going fucking nuts and just totally out of breath when I hit the microphone. So I'm not singing shit when I get up there. I'm like cracking, hitting flat notes because I can't reach that high because I'm so out of breath. But nowadays, I mean, we try to be energetic, but like the music's so energetic, it just carries, and I just want to like perform it well. It just feels good to do that. So try to stay in my little square, not venture out too much.
The cool thing now, which like just contrasts to that Taste of Chaos tour, the cool thing now is everyone's there for you. Everyone's not My Chem fans and they see you opening. They're there for you. And dial back. There's a Instagram clip of Dan you singing, and you're like, I'm just gonna let the crowd sing. Like they got it.
Yeah.
That's a cool
So
clip.
sick. That clip is amazing.
That felt so rad.
Yeah.
So you're playing a couple shows this weekend. This is going to come out after, so sorry to everybody that wanted to hear about it. But you're getting ready for it. I don't think we've talked to a bunch of bands and we've heard about rehearsal. But take us through a day of rehearsal. How does that work? Like, what do you guys tell all of us, all four of you guys? Tell us how that works for each of you.
Hey, Nick, I'm going to need you to book Rev It Up on Monday night. Everybody good with Monday night? Well, what time? Well, can we get in early? 5? No. I'm not going to be out of work then. So we need to get probably around 8 o'clock.
It's canceled.
That way my wife goes to bed so she's not pissed off at me and I can come home after a couple beers. You
Just
know,
a couple? I mean, come on.
yeah, you got to get through practice somehow or another. And then we sit there and we don't play the set for a good 30 minutes of what we're paying for. And
I'm trying to figure out my guitar tone every practice.
Every time.
We're actually doing that after this podcast to figure out my
Nice.
guitar tone.
Or we're tweaking with the PA for about 4 minutes.
yeah,
Is the
How
problem.
it goes.
and then we jam the set, and we rarely ever play a song more than once. Ever. And if we do mess up on a part, we only play that part for like 2 seconds, and then we start the next song so we can get through the end of practice.
Also, it's like incredibly loud in the practice space, so you can't really hear if it's good or not. But we did it.
Going off vibes,
Played the
basically.
thing.
We
You showed up.
be sure to get in there once or twice a week while we're doing it. That's the one thing that does piss me off, because for me, selfishly, my vocal, that muscle. I need to work it out, and I gotta stay consistent with it, or I lose it. I have to break it and then start it over again. So it's always better for me. I'm always trying to push for more practices, but they're always like, dude, we know these fucking songs. Shut up, Joe.
Like I
Yeah.
said, you could just get the album, play it on the PA, and just go practice by yourself.
I did, but I need to bring them too, so I'm not lonely.
I'll go.
Yeah, exactly. You need friends. You
Yeah,
can't do it alone.
I want to be alone.
A Daniken.
A Daniken.
In the room with you.
Man, Daniken. I love that.
I'm just watching you guys. You guys are still having fun. And it's funny, like in prep for this, I was going through your Instagram, and you had that clip of you teasing new music, and I was like, we're going to hit it off tonight. We're going to hit it. Tony, did you see that? The clip of them teasing new music, the 5 seconds?
I did not.
It was like a
Hand
was
up, I
like
didn't see
clown
it.
music.
Tyler's idea.
It was the clown music.
That was Tyler's idea. We're at the clown music.
Yeah. We were.
Yeah.
That was. Some people
Yeah,
were
yeah.
pissed, dude. That's great. Yeah.
That's just
I
like
will
the
go
wave.
back and watch it. I promise.
Yeah.
I love that song, whatever the fuck it's called. I love it.
The clown song.
The clown song. Yeah. I think it's March of the Gladiator. Enter the Gladiator.
Nice. That's
That's so
awesome.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, you did tease. There's a maybe a song here in the near future, but more than that coming up. What's the plan?
I mean, we've been writing. We got like shells. We have like 2 complete songs, and we have about 3 or 4 more shells. Been a lot going on with the live album hitting, and then like trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Now we have this thing. What do we do with it? Because we don't have a label. We don't have a full team behind this. We have just us. So it's like now we have Smart Punk, but we got the album first, and then went to Smart Punk and said like, hey, we have something.
Right. We're more now where we're financing the situation and bringing it out to somebody to help us distro and do that. And we have a really good relationship with Smart Punk today. So we're able to go make our music, and we have a good deal worked out where the points match up to where they're going to be a good marketing arm for us. And we're going to just be able to write and make our music and record it, master it, produce it, and then deliver a product and get it out to distro, So that's where we are right now. Like Dan said, we have 2 complete songs. One's done and mastered. We will schedule that for release hopefully this year.
It's the clown song, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Perfect. Right.
Every same.
And then we have another one that Dan just needs to finish a vocal part, and then we'll get that to master. So we'll have one right behind that. But I think this year it's really happened. We rely on Dan, Obi-Wan over here to really direct and get music going in a certain direction, you know. So he's taken on a lot, and what I love about it is that he's happy, you know, he's making music and he keeps sending me songs and he's stoked about it, and he wants to hear, you know, my opinion, and he's got Kyler involved and Nick involved, and you know, he's pumping them out, and you know, every other 3 days he's sending me a new something or another. So we'll probably have a full album worth of songs here sooner than later, you know, like, which is something I didn't think I'd say 25 years later.
That's great.
Honest. Yeah.
Well, it's cool. It's on your terms, you know?
I expect immediate action from everyone
You know?
when I write. So I'm like, where are the lyrics? Where are the drums? Like, why? It's the next
It's
day.
done.
What are we doing?
One time you sent me, you're like, what's taking you so long? It's a 2-minute song.
How much do you guys think going through all this 25 years later has helped? Like, obviously, you guys are still friends. You did the indie, did the major, all that. You know, now there's the only pressure you guys have is probably what you put on yourselves. I mean, well, there's fans like us that are like, where's new music? But like, do you think all that helped? Like, the journey of A Static Lullaby must have helped to land at this spot, right?
For sure. I don't think anything's ever going to be harder than like the period where we're coming out of the major label. I think that was like the height of bullshit.
Oh fuck!
I even think like
Yeah,
we kind of like reached that milestone, kind of fell down the hill, and then when we signed with Fearless, I think like we had already like rectified that, and like we were good, and we were happy with Fearless. It's just like outside forces like, you know, came in and we had to disband for this reason or that reason, but it was never because like we didn't like the music. Like we were still happy, and we didn't, you know, we had released the Toxic video. We didn't do any other music video for Rattlesnake. Like that was probably our height, like our second coming. That was definitely our height, and we didn't really get to play off that success of Toxic, which is like our biggest song. You know, it's a cover, but still, we didn't get to play off that success because we disbanded. So I think we had a good vision then, and we had been through so much in like the 4 years of being a band and 19 to men that we were able to kind of just pick up where we left off and just have a good time with it. And it's a nice escape to like work all day and then come home to this and like get to talk about music, do a podcast. Like it's a lot of fun. It's great.
It is so much fun, dude.
It feels healthy. It feels good. Like everyone's happy and healthy. No complaints.
Yeah, it's therapy, dude. It really is. It's therapy. And
So true.
I don't know. I'm stoked. You know, it's like you guys. I mean, you got 300 plus episodes, dude, right? So, or whatever, you've talking to 200 bands, and you know, it's you and your buddies, and you get to just talk shit, you know, and
this is our Super Bowl. We love this shit,
dude. It is so rad. It is so rad, and you know, we're doing that here, so it's cool.
Can relate on a different level, but the same feeling. Absolutely. And, you know, adjacent.
You know?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's funny when I saw the IG, like apparently that's all it takes is like an active IG and everyone's excited. But when I saw that, I was like, it kind of felt like an old friend. Like, oh fuck, they're back. And I'm like dialing it back. I'm like, damn, it's like an old friend, right? It's reconnecting with an old friend that in reality I've never met, but that feeling.
Well, now you have. But yeah.
Now I've met, yeah. It's cool. From a fan's lens, it is really cool.
It really is. I appreciate that. I think, you know, I experienced that in my own right. I think looking and having the conversation with you, just knowing that in some way that it's familiar to you, right? And that you did give a fuck, right? Is great for me because, you know, Dan and I, this is our baby. It really, it was so formative in so much of our lives. Like I remember when I didn't have the band, when we were full-time touring, and that's all the money I made, and you know, it paid for my life and everything. And then I stepped away from it. The identity crisis that I had, dude, like trying to figure out what I was if I wasn't Joe from A Static Lullaby. And I think today I'm able to just be Joe and then have these opportunities where I could be Joe from A Static Lullaby for a day, you know, and enjoy that in a completely different way. You know, there's only excitement behind it right now, and to have it feel familiar for the good things and not the bad things is something that really makes me happy.
Yeah, and I think being positive, we're a lot more positive these days too. Because back then we were fucking assholes.
Yeah, dude.
You know? We were fucking. I mean,
In what way? I got to know now. What way?
Yeah.
You,
we were
you-
elitist, bro. Like I mean, there was like Dan and I was telling somebody yesterday, I would not listen to music of our peers just because I didn't want to hear something or get influenced by any of that, right? We were doing our own thing. And I guess at times it was like, well, here's the bar, what we're going to do. And then you would hear something. And for some reason, there was always these bands that we just fucking loved. You know, I think Every Time I Die is probably one of those bands that we just, every time they made a record, we're like so pumped and so stoked on it and sought that out. But a lot of, I mean, being dicks it was more on a personal level. I think just for the band, I didn't think that we could see outside of it, right? Like, I guess competitive to a certain degree, but more just elitist in the music that we were making, right? Like, it's some vinyl snob, you know, sitting there with his records and wanting to tell you that he knows everything best about it, you know, but we were doing that with our own band.
Yeah, not to say it didn't feel good when we were doing it. It felt great, but
yeah.
but we're our eyes are open a bit more. We have families, we have kids, we think about others now,
Yeah,
which is, you know, different. So, and we're all still adapting to that, but it just makes the experiences at shows, like meeting the fans, like definitely took that for granted back in the day. And just like the things you can do on stage that spread positivity rather than just telling someone, hey, go fuck yourself.
Oh yeah, dude.
To get a laugh, you know? Laugh.
You know, the internet wasn't wildfire, but there were some message boards that probably lit up because of shit that we had said on stage, dude. There wasn't much of a mute button on me.
I remember every tour, it would be like, by the end of the tour, it would be like the really cool guitar tech from the headlining band and like this tour manager from this band. And they'd all get together and just like watch our set just to hear what Joe's going to say. And Joe had his own like peanut gallery. It was great. Every tour, he would get like one or two dudes just on his side, like feeding him lines like, hey, you should say something about this. Look at that chick right there. Let's say something about her. Like crazy stuff, like awful things sometimes, but it was
it's a good thing it was pre-YouTube.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, no, thank God. I'm full of a lot of thank yous today, you know?
Yeah.
So there's a lot of thank yous. And a lot of
condone that behavior.
We appreciate
well, that's being a kid. I mean, you were 19, you know, like you go out and you don't know the world. You don't know the reactions you're going to get. You don't know the feelings that are going to happen. And at our age now, you do. And you're a little more selective. Every now and then, it's still nice to say, go fuck yourself to somebody, but
It's a beautiful thing.
You pick and choose where to do that now versus just every night.
Yeah, right.
For sure.
If you see us in Portland or anywhere else down the line, you can tell me to go fuck myself, and I'll get it. I'll understand. So go for it.
It would be from, you know, the sweetest part of my
we'll do
heart.
it with a smile now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'll know. I'll understand.
Handshake and a smile.
Yeah, that's right.
Go fuck
yourself.
So the shows that just happened were awesome in Texas. They were great. Any shows planned beyond that?
Yes.
We stumped them. There are, but they can't say, which is fine.
No, it's not that. We definitely have something coming up. I think July, August that we're supporting. Somebody else that just don't have the deal sheet on it yet, so I don't want to say it. But most of it right now, we're really focused on creating, getting some music down, having a plan for it, and then we'll go back into it because, you know, to separate the art from the business side of things, to be honest, it's like, okay, Static Lullaby's back. We can get this booking agent, and this booking agent can get us on these tours, and we can be on these tours, but we have to be on those tours, right? He has to be able to make his money, and we can go support really, really big names right now. And we have the ability to go out and we have the ability to headline and do it. But truthfully, we can't manage that in our day-to-day lives. So that's not something that is really a viable option. What we want to do is get our content out there, get our our music down and have some sort of consistent release plan for the digital fans, right? And then if we decide that we're going to do something, get involved in a larger sense with a booking agent and do that and actually make it, make monetary sense for both of us, type of deal. But we don't have the liberty to do that now.
Yeah, well, that's the other piece of it. It being, 25 years later, when you're 19, you can just quit college and go do that.
Right.
When you've got family and obligations, it becomes a lot more difficult.
Yeah, dude.
For sure.
But you're still doing it. You're still doing the damn thing. You're back doing the damn thing. The live album's out. Go listen to the live album. The Texas shows are great. They were a couple days ago, actually. They're a couple days from now. But, we're time traveling. And yeah,
like, wait, what happened?
No,
The show's bombed. Yeah, the band quit. The band broke up.
but
oh my god, wait, you have a crystal ball over there?
Oh, man.
Oh my god, man.
Dude, we could all die.
Yeah, that's it.
I'll say this, guys, as a fan since 03, the idea of new music is fucking amazing. Like in my head, I'm like, what era is it going to sound like?
Can I ask you guys? Yeah, have you? What's your favorite albums? And Don't Forget to Breathe. Is that what you said?
Yes.
What after that? What have you
listened? Yeah, have you listened to?
So where are they? I pulled out my here we go, my CD binder from when I had that beater that Tony was talking about. So I got the self-titled. That's probably 2, and Don't Forget to Breathe is 1.
Mm.
I've never listened to Rattlesnake, and what is it? Fasola Tito was solid, but I never listened to the 4th album.
Do yourself a favor and listen to Rattlesnake.
Right on.
I gotta listen to that.
I got my homework. I got my assignment.
That's the strongest release. And like with what I'm doing with the songwriting, I'm trying to hit like all of the preferred timelines of songwriting as much as I can. Like I want to bring in, I don't really write with any direction, but I might say like, I want to write a more melodic song, and it comes out sounding like, okay, this one's more in Don't Forget to Breathe kind of song, or this one's more of a Rattlesnake song. Self-Titled was just kind of like a blend of those two. It was like, we don't know which one to be because they're 2 very different records, but we talk a lot about Every Time I Die. You can definitely hear the influence in Rattlesnake, but there's a lot of just A Static Lullaby in it as well. And it's this cool, like, mashup thing of that, of like, it was kind of a reinvention of the band. And like I said before, it was a shame that we couldn't capitalize on that because I think we had something with that one.
Yeah, the newer songs there, it feels like, I mean, like we picked up in 2010, right after that album was released. It really does, and we're not limited to one sound, which is really great, and we're not limited to things that we do because we have multiple voices and we take inspiration from so many different arenas of music. I think that's always going to play a part of what we do and how we do it. But you can be sure that it's pissed off and it's fucking good. I promise you that.
I like that. I can live with that.
My son's going to love it.
Yeah, he'll be headbanging. He'll be headbanging before you know it.
Right on, guys.
Anything else you guys want to hit before we jump off?
Yeah, just you guys go watch that live album and on YouTube. The whole movie will be there, every song, and it'll be available on all DSPs and platforms. So that's just our reintroduction to say hi to everybody and let you know that we're doing it and be prepared for some new shit coming out.
We do have a podcast as well called Good Guys Bad Band, and you can find it on YouTube, on any major audio streaming platform. Go check it out. We get a little wild on there.
I love the name of that. I love the name of that.
My OnlyFans.
OnlyFans. Yep. Check out Dan's OnlyFans. That's great.
I've only watched the clips on your IG, and I like it. It's just I don't think I have enough time for another podcast.
Oh no, you do. No. You can't tell them that.
I know I can't tell them that.
Tell me that after the fact.
No, just kidding.
No, I didn't. No, sure, for sure.
This is, I mean, for we have full-time jobs too, obviously, and Anthony's got a couple of kids, so this is the podcast for us.
It's the only fun I have, guys. That's what it boils down to.
Podcast is our podcast, right? That's for us. It's I mean, it really is. That's our
the work that goes into it. You guys know it takes some time. It takes some editing. It takes some learning technology that we didn't know when we started it. It's all that stuff.
That's why we hired these guys.
Yeah, we got Nick.
Love it.
The only reason why we're
The
here.
abuse is real, dude. I tell you
They
that.
played the long game without.
Nick didn't know how to play.
Where's my
guitar, so-
clips, dude? I need something for shorts, bro. You get something funny,
Sure.
all right? Yeah, come on.
Hey,
Where
when
my
you're
clips,
done, I
man?
got some video I can send to you. We need something too.
Oh, guys, it was fun. Thank you
Yeah,
so much,
that's
man.
awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to Podio Slave. We are at Podio Slave on X, Instagram, TikTok, all of the places that you can find us on social media. It's at Podio Slave. We are Podio Slave Podcasts on YouTube. Subscribe to us there. If you want to contact us, hit us up at podioslavepodcast@gmail.com. And hey, if you've got a minute, leave us a review. Tell a friend. We'd really appreciate that. Thank you.
How do we sound? We sound like
Do we
we know
sound
what we're
all right?
doing.
Yo, fucking
Yeah.
delicious tone and
I
tone
love it.
over there.
I love it. I love it. I love the show.
Let's go, tones.